Thermodynamic processes can occur by reversible or irreversible paths. If a process is occurring via a reversible path, that means that an infinitesimal change in some thermodynamic property, such as pressure or temperature, can reverse the process. To see what I mean by this, let's consider the expansion of a gas by both reversible and irreversible paths. This picture depicts an irreversible expansion. Imagine that we have a gas confined in a cylinder with a movable wall. The pressure on the outside of the wall is relatively high, and so the gas is confined in some small volume. But then, let's say, we decrease the pressure all at once by some large amount. The internal pressure will then be greater than the external pressure, and we expect the gas to expand rapidly. This is an irreversible expansion because the external pressure is significantly less than the internal pressure, and therefore a small increase in the external pressure would not reverse the expansion. This picture shows the setup for a nearly reversible expansion. The gas is once again initially confined in a cylinder with a movable wall. In this case, there is a pile of sand on the external surface of the wall. The force of gravity acting on this pile of sand creates an external pressure that just balances the internal pressure of the gas. And so, initially, the movable wall doesn't move. But then imagine removing one grain of sand at a time from this pile of sand. After the removal of each grain of sand, we wait for the system to expand a tiny amount, resulting in a tiny drop in the internal pressure to re-establish equality between the external and internal pressures. Then we remove another grain of sand and allow another small expansion to occur. We keep doing this until the system is expanded to some desired final volume. This is a nearly reversible expansion because at any point along the way, if we added a grain of sand to the pile instead of removing a grain of sand, the process would reverse and the expansion would turn into a compression. Notice that I'm calling this process nearly reversible and not truly reversible. For the expansion to be truly reversible, we'd have to remove an infinite number of infinitely small grains of sand from the pile. This would take an infinitely long amount of time. So although we can come very close to reversibility, no thermodynamic process occurring in the real world can be truly reversible.